Krish, would you say, isn't this a similar scenario to what happened to Ripple, as in the sense where the reputation's got damaged now, the novelty's slowly starting to wear off on Bitcoin? Because we've seen it rise, but it's coming down just as quick as well now, isn't it?
So you got to look at my screen.
The door is coming to change the cushion.
When?
Today? What time?
11 a.m.
11 a.m. They're just going to call
Bitcoin.
it,
Yeah, since the 16 to 22nd of May, has taken an absolute nosedive. Yeah, it gives you an idea. Yeah, oops, hold on. Let's go to worldwide. Massive drop. So actually, guys, at the same levels, actually no, we've decreased. Yeah, we've decreased. So just before when the hype was starting towards the end of 2020, you saw we had a little bit of a dip, and then we started to really accelerate as Bitcoin flipped and price started to make its rise. And so we're at the same levels as where we were back in December. Yeah, back in December. So you got to discount all of this. Yeah. Interest by region, Nigeria. Why do Nigeria have the biggest interest in Bitcoin? Why do you think Nigeria have the biggest interest in Bitcoin? If Allah's on the call, don't say nothing. Anyone know?
I want to say illegal trades.
So, in Nigeria, they have a massive problem. Yeah. Well, does anyone know what's the currency that they're using down there?
Niger.
Sorry.
Niger.
So it's terrible. Yeah. Their currency is shocking, as in like it's worth pennies. As in your $100 bills are like pennies down there. It's worthless. So naturally, people need to go somewhere else where they can store value, where there is actual money in something. Bitcoin. That's why Nigerians are one of the most active users of Bitcoin. Yeah? They're one of the most active users of Bitcoin, regardless of how often the African countries want to close them down and suppress them and stuff. It's what they want. Yeah, it's what they want. So very interesting question that you said here, Amir. Look at the absolute drop. Look at the drop in where we are in comparison to where we were. Yeah, that's an absolute huge monumental drop, and it's a reflection of where Bitcoin price currently is right now. So, when you talk about brand damaging, something that is brand damaging, and we spoke about Ripple and how brand damaging the SEC court case was. Yes, regardless of what we believe will happen, if we believe that they're going to come out and they're going to come out conquering and that they've spent all the money in their war chest and they're going to win, fantastic, great. But the brand is damaged. If you're an institution, and you've been pitched Ripple are going to do this for you. They've got this technology, this is what they're going to be able to do for you and your company as an institution. And then they have a lawsuit by the SEC. Does that build confidence in you that you want to kind of invest in a company that's being investigated? It doesn't, does it? Yeah. If you're the type of person to say yes, then you're a mug. You would never put your money in a company that's currently being investigated. So has Ripple now got that company or not? They don't have that company, do they? So they're going to go and put their money elsewhere, or they're just going to hold. So that's brand damaging for Ripple. So what has happened in Bitcoin is that when we had all the peak spikes and every Tom, Dick and Harry in the world were getting excited and everybody was trying to invest in Bitcoin, a lot of people invested at 60,000, many at 65,000. And what happened? They saw their wealth absolutely diminished by half. We've got a 55% drop from all-time highs. You've got social media calling these terms dip. It's not a dip. That's a corrective structure. That's half its value diminished in rapid speed. Of course, we know Elliott wave. We know what wave fours do. We expected a sharp decline purely because of the way wave 2 was. Let's have a look at $8 market cap. And let's have a look at actually where Bitcoin was. Remember, you got to remember at how dominant Bitcoin was. It was above the billions. It was in the trillions. We're now halfway less at 636 billion. Do you remember even PFX put out the post with the Pac-Man and silver was next on the list and silver was about to get taken over? I don't remember top of my head, but I could be wrong, but I believe it was at 1.3 trillion, something like that where Bitcoin was, and it was very close to overtaking silver. Yeah? But look what happened. Look at what can happen when you have institutions that pull out, when you have people that pull out money out of fear, when you have people taking money out at a loss because they don't want to see a further bigger loss, when you see that the search engines are absolutely just tanking because people are just not searching Bitcoin anymore. But all of a sudden, people believe that we're going to get some type of V-shaped recovery, that Bitcoin is just going to go back up in a straight line all the way to all-time highs, everything is forgotten, we can paint roses again, and then we can live happily ever after. That absolutely is just not the case. A lot of people are expecting a U-shaped recovery. You have got to let Bitcoin do what it's going to do. You just got to just leave it alone. I think that when you have peaks like this for the last half year where we've been pretty spoiled with Bitcoin, it's very easy to get lost in that euphoria. And it's very easy to get lost in there. But the reality has got to kick in. It's got to kick in that anyone who's been involved in this space for a long period of time, we will have months, if not years, of just consolidation. We've had it for many a time. The last correction that we had from 2018, it took 18 months before we started to get a little bit of a turn, and then 2 years before we really started to kick off. I'm not saying that we are going to be having this sort of correction. The times now for Bitcoin has totally changed compared to where we were then. We now have institutional interest. Regardless of institutional investment, we have institutional interest. You've got people like Michael Saylor that are flying the flag for Bitcoin. You can't disregard what Michael Saylor is doing. Now, there are two sides to the coin here. Yes, what Michael is doing with his influence and his business is to get a lot of people involved in Bitcoin. And a lot of companies in their hundreds have made a substantial loss because they have followed Michael's advice. Michael sees the long-term picture. So in that sense, these people are probably kicking themselves. Damn, shouldn't have listened to them. But Michael sees the long-term picture. When everybody disregarded the iPhone, when the iPhone had the iPhone 4 or iPhone 5, I believe it was, everybody said that the iPhone is going to be copied by the companies, and then the value is going to diminish because generally values of all these massive companies, they start to diminish. 15%, 20%, 25%. Michael was the only one flying the flag for Apple, saying, no, they're going to do very well. They're going to keep on skyrocketing. Who was eventually right? Michael was eventually right. Because look at the cost of an iPhone now, $1,500. Crazy. You never thought that at £500. So he's flying the flag for Bitcoin now because he sees ahead. He knows what the future is. He sees the future. El Salvador is just one of many that's going to be happening in the future. But we have to, at the same time, be realistic. Yeah, that things are just not going to go up in a straight line. So, patient waiting game. So the question that I asked to a lot of you guys, that what happened over the last 48 hours as to why we had Bitcoin absolutely fall, and a lot of people couldn't answer, that's own goals, guys. If you've invested money into something, you should know what's happening as to why price is going where it is. So with this patient waiting game, guys, let's just wait and see what happens. No need to act. We're not here to be trading the moves up and down. Substantial moves, by the way. Good thousands of dollar moves, but we're not here to trade this. We're not trading on leverage either. We're here for the long term. So if you're not invested into cryptocurrency, relax, sit back, enjoy the ride. If you are, again, relax, sit back. We are very aware that there are still gaps that need to be filled above. We've seen this gap here that we highlighted last week at 38,000. That's now been closed. And we've still got low-end gaps in the 20,000 as well. So at the minute, we're just ranging within this space, nothing to worry about. So let's wait and see what the future holds. But in regards to brand damaging, yeah, we have seen when everybody pulls money out, institutions pull money out, all the articles that are saying, yes, bear market, 55% of the value disappeared. You see that the market cap of Bitcoin absolutely drop as well. You see the searches go down. This is all pointing towards a lot of this FUD, a lot of this fear. And so that is brand damaging. So what would have to happen, how do you recover from brand damages? You let things kind of calm down and slowly you build the brand up. Again, you've had many situations in markets. Coca-Cola last week, people used Ronaldo as brand damaging. In fact, it wasn't. That was a very, very clever tool, yeah, to increase more people talking about the product. Yeah? You've had loads of companies, Tesco in the past, brand damaging. Loads of companies had brand damaging situations and news that affected their market. If you give things time, you let it rebuild, and things will increase over time. In regards to Ripple, the SEC saw that still continuing. Do we see an end to it at the moment? No, we have to wait to see what the judge says. There's nothing we can say about this at the moment at all. So we're just gonna leave it as it is, and then see what happens. This thing is just dying. We're looking like we're going to be exceeding the low of $65 soon. So you just let it go. You know, really big wake up call for anybody who didn't close it at the highs up here. You know, they've had to withstand this whole corrective structure here. You know? But like always, this is not going to recover. Nothing in cryptocurrency is going to recover until Bitcoin starts to make its move and start to recover from there, right? Regardless of what anyone says. You know? Decoupling is still not happening in cryptocurrency, and Bitcoin still leads the market at dollar index with currency, at S&P 500 in the stock market, just going to happen. Okay, so will Ripple ever get above $3 in the future? Yes. Will they ever get to those monstrous numbers people are talking about after being this brand damaged? I doubt it. You know? Because the only way you're ever going to get to these large numbers is if you get large institutions putting big money behind these particular cryptos, and that's why you're going to get the big rallies going up. You don't see that with Ripple because you've got to remember, everybody has been made aware and is aware Ripple is going through a court case, so you wouldn't put your money there. So everyone's going to pop that idea. Actually, institutions are starting to put their money more into Ethereum. A lot of them are putting it into cold storage. A lot of them, of course, have Bitcoin at the forefront of their portfolios. So time will tell. Let's wait and see, guys, and let's move on.